before you do any work on a starter, always disconnect the battery. I like to disconnect them both on a starter because the battery plus goes directly to the starter. Okay, so we've got it up on stands. Used a couple of floor jacks on a cross beam. So now this cover has to come off. Okay, to remove this cover, first thing we're going to do is pull off this front piece. We have our couple 10 millimeters on each end, and in the middle there are some panel fasteners. These are actually screw-in type. Okay, they're coming out. It's unthreaded. Fastener itself will pull out. Okay, this fastener and then the other one on the other corner, and then we have this front piece out. And the other one on the other corner. These tend to rust being under the car, by the way. Not a bad idea. Put some never sees on when you're done. Okay, there goes that piece. Okay, looking this pan over now. Let's point out the 7 screws that have to come out. This one over here, driver's side corner. These 2 in the middle, passenger side corner. Now going back, this one right here on the passenger side in the back, way back in the middle now, and on the driver's side in the back. So 7 of them, all 10 millimeter. Take them out, and then it'll drop down in the front, and you'll pull it toward the front of the car to get this out in one piece. So with all those out, just pull down on the corner. There's kind of a little keeper in there, not very, and then pull it forward. Comes out like that, in one piece. Starter bolts are accessible from the top. The first deal, though, is to take off this intake cover here. Set this aside. There's only 2 things that have to be disconnected on this air intake. Okay, right here is a screw where the intake duct comes down onto this air intake plenum here. Just have to undo this clamp. And the other item is the air cleaner. There's 2 clips here. There's 2 clips down below. And then this lifts off. And then it's just a matter. And I should mention one other thing. This small hose here is going to prevent you from moving this assembly out of the way. There's a clamp on there, but it comes off anyway. And there it's just a matter of kind of rocking, pulling the assembly out, get it past the upper radiator hose. I'll set this off to the side. Now we can get down in there and get at the two mounting bolts for the starter. Okay, there's 2 bolts 180 degrees apart. See that black-headed one right there? That's the upper starter mounting bolt. The lower one, and there you can see the middle one. If you follow my finger down in there, it's 180 degrees around, beyond the other one that we just pointed out. I don't consider this by any means cheating. It's just that it's difficult to get a bigger piece of bigger equipment in there, 1/2 inch. So I just stuck a little bar on here just to break it loose. So from here on we can just ratchet it off. But first we'll loosen the other one from the bottom. Okay, here's the other starter bolt right here. We're going to have to use a little different arrangement on this tools wise because our deep well is not going to work right there. Not going to quite fit. Here's got a 14 millimeter 12 point in there with the breaker bar. Yeah. There, we got it broken. So from here on out we'll just go to a regular ratchet. Okay, so we turned out the bolt on top. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and take the lower starter mounting bolt out now. Tight quarters, of course. I'm having a hard time getting to these bolts this way. We're going to unbolt it. Still doesn't want to turn out. Let's go up above once. I'm going to come down from the top. There it is. Now let's see what it's going to take to pull it out. Get it down. Not much room here. What a surprise. Looks like these oil lines here are in the way. It's a wire and connector on this bracket. I think I'm going to do is loosen this bolt right here. It's like a 10, 12 millimeter, something like that. Let's see if we can get it through there. Okay, we've got this bracket loose now. Let's see what moving this can do to help us get this starter down from here. So in the way of getting our starter out, it's this bracket back here that mounts the air intake duct. I've loosened up 2 of them, the easier 2, just with a like a 12-inch. These are 12 millimeter. I had a 12-inch extension, and I used a 14 millimeter socket in the universal to get in there. Now over here, there's 2 of them that are mounted to the engine over here, and these are the 2 difficult ones. So what I'm trying to do on here is get in here with a universal. I just plan to loosen it like this. I just plan to loosen this and not take it all the way out, because I think the clearance is very close. But the hard part is getting this on here because the oil filter here is in the way, and there isn't much room. So I'm going to get this on and just loosen the other 2 off. Two 12 millimeters. What's working on here is a 12 millimeter deep well and just an adapter from 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And I was able to get this thing broken here. See this? It's kind of a hidden bolt. So I'm just loosening this bracket. I'm going to try to do it without taking it out, because taking it out is going to involve, well, putting it back in, which is a blind operation. See if just having this thing loose will be good enough to give us just enough room to slip that starter past it. And with that bracket loose, gave us some room. Bring the starter down. And there are the electrical connections that are at our disposal now. Okay, we have 2 connections on our starter. Solenoid control wire. Push in. Pull out. This wire actually is the switched wire that's going from the solenoid switch when it sends the pinion gear out, makes the switch. This is the actual connection here to the, this is the B+ connection itself right here. Okay, this B plus wire is 12 millimeter, and I've just got a 1/4 inch drive on here. These aren't usually going to be torqued at all. And then, with that, we can ease the starter out. And there's our starter solenoid.